I do know the difference between Black Stalin and CHALKDUST. I want you to know that. They're trying to make the white guy from the Grammy Awards look bad. It was on these cards. This is what extempo calypso music is all about, right? And now for the 1991 presentation of the Calypso and Steel Band Music Hall of Fame. Here is a researcher, historian, teacher, songwriter, calypsonian, and PhD student at the University of Michigan. Hollis Liverpool, better known as ChalkDUST.
Thank you very much for getting the name right this time. Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 2 years, we have presented already 15 persons in the Hall of Fame. And tonight we continue the tradition. These are our unsung heroes. These are people who have made it possible for us today to sing calypso, and we are proud to present them. But a few years ago in 1968, in my own way, I had the notion of a Hall of Fame. And I did it this way. I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I enjoy doing it. I am sure you'd agree with me. We don't know enough of our own country, because our history books teaching we only about Drake and Queen Mary. Now we know so much about England, Buccaneers, Eskimos, and Red Indian. And if a tourist should come today, we in trouble if she asks about Cane Brulee and the history of Calypso. Oh, what children and them don't know. They never hear about Heliard, Batwenti or Tokyo. So I want to see life stories of Lord Executor, Growler, Attila, Invader and Killer, the origin of Carnival in the country. Write that down in history. And the first bandmen like Fisheye and Spree, tell them to write that down in history. Lincoln is the toast of America. England is proud of William Shakespeare. But Gentle Daniel and Sir Henry Pierre, Lennox O'Reilly, children never hear. The 1903 water riots, who were the 16 who met their death? Who or what started the Sipari affair? These are questions nobody ain't tackled yet. I want to read in my own history letters of John Craig that we never see, and all them stick fight songs that my grandfather sang for me. Yes, I want to see the history of Parang, Bele, Joropo, Tambu, Bambu, Serenal and Shango, Jaru, Pike, Koromanti and Bongo. Write them down in history. We are the only country with pirate taxi. Tell them to write that down in history. They must write more of our legends. Sukuya, Laja, Bless, Lagahu and Dwena. We don't know the history of we Jab Jab, although every year we play mass like mad. Now we have great relics of history, like Whitehall, Police Barracks and Knowsley. The Princess Building was history wasting, and them fellas with their degree won't write a thing. But they write books on Winston Churchill. Of Columbus we have had our fill, and nobody wouldn't write a line about spoilers still. So I want to see bandmen like Gaga and Pepe Lamoko, Boots, Boy Blue, Catanos at the Koto, Pepsi, Haynes, Black Dick and Barrow. Write them down in history. Don't forget Muscle Rat, Ranger and Red Ozzy. Tell them to write them down in history. The wrong things today are taught, and nothing about our great men of sport. George John Bowl out England 1923. Clifford Rhodes before lunch, score a whole century. Write that and forget Mr. Raleigh. Bring in Squeaky Hines and Pompey. Now we govern ourselves and rule our land. Let my people learn more of our nation. Write about we Tulum and we pay me. Let the world know is we invented roti. Let me see in books we pudding, pilau and we chalkari. Oh yes, believe me, is we invented Good Friday, Boboli. We made up words like Tuturbe and Basodi. Our Susu, Chase, Manhattan Bank copy. Write that down in history. And the first teacher to sing Kaiso was me. Tell them to write that down in history. Thank you. I sang that song in 1969, and one man in the audience clapped, the mighty Duke. For this year, our 5 nominees for this theater, whom we are instituting in the Hall of Fame. The 16th person, first of all, we start with Steel Band, and we nominate this year Alexander Ragtime Band, a band that started at the corner of Picton and Tragarit Road. Was actually the first steel band formed with tambour bamboo, iron and steel, with guys like Hamburger and Victor Toti Wilson. I don't have to tell you why they call him so. And this band was actually formed before the film was shown in Trinidad in 1939. And the boys tried to copy the ragtime as the United States. So we nominate, first of all, to our Hall of Fame, Alexander Ragtime Band. Give them a nice round of applause. Our 17th inductee is a guy now residing in California by the name of Andrew Pan de Labastide. Andrew Pan was one of the earliest tuners. He learned his art from men like Pachai in Hill 60 Steel Band. And he tuned pans in the early 1940s. In fact, when Spree got the fame for beating that beautiful tune, I'm a Warrior, in 1946, the man who tuned that pan was Andrew Labastide. Andrew also tuned the 8-note pan for Spree, and Andrew was the foremost tuner on the Task Post band in 1950. Andrew Labastide, we nominate him to our Hall of Fame. The third guy is a guy who is little known but widely respected among those who know about pan. He's now a native of Pennsylvania. His name is Joe Crick. Joe formed the Tripoli Steel Orchestra in 1939. And he reigned until 1950 as captain. Tripoli, I must say, is one of the oldest and longest reigning bands. They are still around. And Joe was wonderful and noted for his discipline, his organizing of the youths, and his seriousness when it came to organizing the band on Carnival Day. In fact, no sailor could disrespect an officer in Joe's day. Joe, too, it was said, was the first man to make a jail for pan. In 1939, while playing pan up the hill in St. James, the police raided the band and held a number of guys. And Joe told the policemen, I am the person responsible for them. I brought them out. I am the person who have this band. He was arrested, and he spent 3 months in prison for disturbing the peace. We bring into the Hall of Fame Joe Crick. In the field of calypso, we bring 2 men this year. First of all, a guy called Leon St. Clair, whose name is Houdini, who was a real Houdini in that he fooled the Americans into believing he was a U.S. citizen. And he lived here for a number of years. He first thought the U.S. as a stowaway, and he ended up as a citizen. And what is wonderful about him is that he made hundreds of records. And of course, he recorded the works of Invader and Lion and all of them. He re-recorded them. But the point is, by recording all those songs in the 1920s and early 30s, he has documented a lot of our records. Without him, without his foresight, we would not have today the lyrics of many of those old calypsos. A master of Re minor, and I want to sing one of the 4 lines of one of his songs. I don't know if you know this one, you can join with me. After Johnny eat me food, after Johnny take me clothes, after Johnny eat me food, rum, Johnny walk away and take me wife. Oh, look at misery. Wherever I meet Johnny, people would be sorry to see the grave for Johnny and the gal is for me. Who didn't? Last but not least, Raphael de Leon, known in some circles as Hubert Charles, Lion. And Lion goes back to 1928, as he says, although we historians have found him only in 1930. But Lion is called the walking encyclopedia because of his brilliant memory. To hear Lion describe an event or something happened is to be actually there. Lovely words. And Lion appeared in Broadway with Rudy Valley. Lion toured the US in 1935, making record with Brunswick, etc. And Lion made films. In fact, he was the first calypsonian to make a film, 1935, and he has left us countless recordings. Though he has never won a calypso crown or a road march, he has given us so many songs. In fact, he gave us the swinging calypso, taking some of the jazz music of the US and putting it into calypso. So that we hear songs like Sally Water, Ugly Woman, Tick, 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 The Lost Watch, Really Lost, and the Steel Band Riots of 1942. To hear Lion singing in the 1930s, we'd have heard this. Very slow. If you want to be happy and live a king's life, never make a pretty woman your wife. If you want to be happy and live a king's life, never make a pretty woman your wife. All you have to do is what I would say, then you will be happy, merry and gay. Cause from a logical point of view, marry a woman uglier than you. These inductees will get their awards because it was very difficult to, Gil Fagaro and I and all the committee, very difficult to get some of their relations. And we want to have a nice presentation so they'll all get their awards at a later date. So this year, 1991, finally we recommend Alexander Ragtime Band, Andrew Pandel-Aberstede, Joe Crick, Leon Sinclair, and the Roaring Lion. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. God bless you all.